Come right in, Father. The prisoner has been waiting for you.
How is he?
He's calm and quiet.
The execution is set.
Within an hour, exactly at 6.
May I see him now?
Certainly. I'll bring him up. Yeah. Yes, it's permissible. One moment. Father Lim is here.
Pablo!
Father, I've been expecting you. Any news, Father?
None, my son. I've tried. God knows how much.
I understand, Father.
Mr. Gonzalez, any last request you wish to? I mean, any kind of food or drink.
Can I ask anything?
Anything within reason.
A bottle of whiskey. Could I ask for a bottle of whiskey?
Whiskey?
You see, Father, I could not afford to drink it before. I got used to the cheap Ginebra and Tuva. I've always dreamt of being able, someday, to drink whiskey, a whole bottle.
Anything more?
Yes, 2 glasses.
Isn't there anything you want with the whiskey?
Yes, make it 3 glasses. We'll all drink.
What I mean, Mr. Gonzalez, is there any food that you might want?
Food? No, nothing more.
Very well.
Warden, has my aunt arrived?
Not yet, but there's a young girl,
Girl,
dressed in black.
Christina.
Or...
Shall I let her in?
No, not yet. I'll let you know.
If you want anything, Father, I shall be outside.
Pablo! Pablo!
Forgive me, Father. I was thinking.
Take a seat. What were you thinking of, my son?
I was thinking. I can't believe it. That I should be here. Condemned. To be hanged in an hour. At the age of 24.
Become Pablo. I want to see the governor for a reprieve. A few days more at least. But he said he couldn't do anything.
Father,
Do you think?
Yes.
what you said last night, that God could forgive me. Forgive me after all I've done.
My son, Christ has said that if your sins are as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Do you ask this forgiveness? God's mercy is infinite, my son.
No, I can't. Not yet.
As you wish, Mom.
If my mother had only taught me to believe and to pray, but she never did. That's why I'm here now.
Your mother is still living?
Yes, but I hope I don't see her again.
Why?
What's the use, Father? It's a long story.
While entering the prison gate, I noticed a woman standing on the sidewalk and loping towards the cell. It could be a mere coincidence, but a certain resemblance.
Is she tall?
Yes, rather, and wearing a colored dress.
Curly hair?
Now that I come to think of it, yes, her face was, or
Covered with too much paint.
wearing earrings and bracelets.
That's her, alright. I wonder why she's here.
Don't you expect a mother to see her son?
I don't want to see her.
Pablo, as you told me a moment ago, that your mother never taught you to believe and to pray. Is that the reason don't you want to see her?
That Father, and more. But let's not talk about it. I want to rest a little. I'm tired and a little bit nervous. Hope you don't mind.
No, of course. You should lie down for a while. You want me to go?
No, not yet, Father. Will you read me something? My heart is so worried. Perhaps your books could give me some comfort.
I have 2 books here. The Confessions of St. Augustine and The Following of Christ.
The second book is
From Book 1, Chapter 12, it is good for us now and then to have some troubles and adversities. For oftentimes they make a man enter unto himself, that he may know that he is an exile and place not his hope in anything of the world. Therefore, ought a man so firmly to establish himself with God, as to have no need of seeking many human consolations. Then is he weary of longer life, and wisheth death come, that he may be dissolved and be with Christ. Then also he will perceive that perfect security and full peace cannot be realized in this world.
That is good, Father. But my eyes, they are worried.
Continue reading it for you, if you wish.
Yes, myself.
The chaplain is with him.
I shall wait. No, don't bother him just yet. Can I ask a few questions? I just arrived from the province. All I know is from the morning papers. I can hardly believe it's true. Can you tell me why you murdered that man?
Seems this fellow, the victim, annoyed his girl once. During the trial, the prisoner testified that he was not a jealous person by temperament. But when this other fellow went to the extreme of laying his hands on her, he vowed to kill her.
Was that sufficient reason to give him the death penalty?
Many other circumstances aggravated this case. For one thing, the murder was deliberate. It was done in the evening, and the prisoner got purposely drunk.
What weapon did he use?
A knife, about a foot long. It pierced the man's heart.
Pablo used to be afraid of knife.
The prisoner? Afraid of a knife?
Oh, I'm talking of the time we were children.
He pleaded guilty.
How strange. If only I could help
Too
him.
late. In less than an hour.
This girl!
What girl?
The girl you mentioned. The one Pablo killed the man for.
She's outside. The one wearing the black dress.
I can't understand how Pablo... Then the death penalty.
But you see, he had previous convictions. Estafa, disorderly conduct, assault on constituted authority.
Estafa too?
2 years ago, before she thick for 200,000 pesos. He was an inveterate gambler, you know.
Didn't know.
Wish to see him now? You're allowed 5 minutes.
Yes, thank you.
A visitor, Mr. Gonzalez. May we see, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Pablo?
I don't...
Don't you remember me, Pablo? Andres, we were childhood friends. We used to play escondite, remember?
I remember now.
You used to push me into the river, remember? Whenever we played near the bridge. Have you forgotten?
No, Andres, I haven't forgotten. I only wish we were children again. We were so happy then, weren't we? You're the only friend who has come to see me. The others, my so-called friends, I haven't seen them since the trial.
They're probably busy.
Yes, too busy invading me. But you're coming, Andres. It's a complete surprise to me. I mean, I didn't expect you to.
I arrived from Isabela yesterday. I came to Manila for business. I knew nothing about this until I read their paper last night.
I'm glad you came, Andres.
There's a young lady outside. She should have come in first, but when she was near the door, she turned to me and told me to go ahead first. Is she your wife?
No. We were to be married when this happened.
Is there anything I can do, Pablo? Anything?
Thank you, Andres. No, there's nothing you can do now.
But I can't understand. When I saw you last... We were in the 6th grade. My father was appointed provincial treasurer of Batangas. So we had to move there.
I chose the wrong path. That's all. Tell me, are you married?
Yes, with 2 children. I would like you to meet my wife.
What are you doing now?
I'm a doctor. I'm assistant head of the Isabela Provincial Hospital.
Are you happy?
I have no complaints. I have a little house of my own.
You've gone far, Andres. Where am I now?
Pablo, just a suggestion. Why don't you, the girl outside, have you thought of marrying her?
Now?
Why not?
And destroy her future.
If you love her,
I do. No, I can't marry her now.
does she love you?
That's just it. She does. I've been very selfish all my life.
She wouldn't care.
Maybe not now, but later. She'll regret it. Why make her the widow of a murderer?
Tell me, Pablo. Your father died when we were still in school.
Yes, and after his death, I lived with an old aunt. Tia Sudeng. But when I was 14, I ran away.
You used a knife. They say you were so afraid of a knife when you were a kid.
Yes, I was afraid of many other things besides. I didn't gamble, I didn't drink.
What happened?
I don't know. I grew up without discipline. I was allowed to steal small sums of money, to gamble on street corners, to smoke under the bridge. And when I grew older, the wrong friends, the lack of faith in anyone or anything, the bitterness.
Your mother's still alive?
Yes,
Is she here?
I hope not.
I understand. It's best, I suppose.
You are mistaken, Andres. I hope to never see her again.
Your own mother? But
There's a man who insists on seeing you, but he has no pass.
Did they give this name?
Yes, Simeon Sereno.
No, I don't want to see him.
somebody you know?
He's one of my companions from the past. He dragged me into the gutter.
Time is up, Mr. Garospe.
Pablo, goodbye.
Thank you for coming, Alice. I'm happy to die knowing that I have Alice a friend.
Goodbye.
Half an hour left, Mr. Gonzalez. You wish to rest a little?
Rest now? Of all eternity to rest, Warden.
Do you mind leaving us alone? Do you wish to see him? I read it in the papers.
I didn't want to see you. Partly to blame for my being here.
Don't be too hard on me, Pablo.
You taught me many of the evil things I learned.
I regret it deeply.
Regret. Will it save me from the chair?
If I could do something.
What can you do now?
You say, I taught you many evil things. That's true. But I too had been taught in my younger years by other friends.
Pretended to be my friend.
I've always been your friend, Pablo.
That's why, I suppose, you never came to see me during your trial.
How could I have known you wanted to see me? I didn't dare.
You were my closest friend. The one I trusted the most. We were partners in drinking, gambling, and women. And that doesn't merit the word friendship.
True, Pablo. Yet, aren't you being unfair to me?
Unfair?
You have a mother. You are lucky to have one. My mother died when I was 5. My father a year before that. I was raised in an orphanage. But I escaped when I was 12. And since then, I've been alone in this world. To have a mother, how sweet and beautiful it must be. When I was a kid, I'd sometimes have fights with the other kids. Whenever I got licked, I'd cry. But I had one to dry my tears. I still remember the garden in the orphanage. How often I'd run to a corner of that garden. There was a bench behind some thick bushes. And there I would quietly weep. That's why I grew up to be bitter.
I never told you that.
Each one of us carries a secret deep in his heart, which he can reveal to anyone.
To have a mother, how sweet and beautiful and consoling it must be. Yes, how beautiful it must be.
She's still alive. Then,
I too have my secrets.
I'm leaving for Palawan tomorrow.
Palawan,
I have a job at the leper colony.
among the lepers.
Among the lepers, I met a nice and fine girl 2 months ago.
She's working there.
She's going to live there.
Live there? But why?
She has leprosy.
Leprosy?
I'm going with her. And that's why I'm working there too.
You love her, Simeon.
Yes, and I want to atone my past.
But why go to the extreme?
Great crimes, Pablo, need great atonement.
Forgive me, Simeon. I see you are a better man than I am.
No, Pablo, I'm no better man. I'm no better than you are. I'm worse. But to this girl, I owe the change. I was spiritually and morally dead, and she brought me back to life.
We've never been so close to each other as we are now.
Now we can part ways, not with bitter reproaches and resentment, but with complete understanding.
Chideng Gonzalez, to see you.
Tia Chideng, let her in. Tia Chideng. I'm so happy you came.
Did not want to come today. I told you yesterday, but
I wouldn't have forgiven you if you didn't come today, Tia.
I tried, Pablo. I tried to see the president. I even came to his office nor in his house. I have failed.
No matter, Tia. No matter now.
Yesterday you asked me to get some mangoes. I promised you to get some mangoes, but October is not the season for mangoes.
How silly of me, Tia.
Pablo, I failed you in everything. If only I had not let you go years ago. But then you ran away.
Why blame yourself, Tia? It was my fault. If only I have stayed with you, how different things would have been.
Wear this.
Thank you, Tia. How can I repay you for all your kindness?
Only one thing, Pablo, my dear, will make you happy. What I've been asking you for these few days.
Father Lim read me the following of Christ a while ago.
I don't need that, Pablo.
You meant confession. I don't know, Tia. It might be too early yet.
It might be too late, Pablo.
Sorry, time's up.
Thank you. I was just going.
Tia, did you see somebody waiting outside?
Have you seen Christina?
No, I don't mean her.
Your mother? I saw her waiting on the sidewalk. You know, we haven't been on speaking terms all these years. Has she seen you?
Don't want to see her.
Forgive her, Pablo. A mother remains a mother, whatever her fault are.
If she had been a true mother, I wouldn't be here.
Your father's death left her embittered and lonely.
I can't forgive her.
Very little time left, Mr. Gonzalez. The girl wants to see you.
I shall be out and I shall be praying.
Farewell, Tia. And pray for me.
All my life, son, all my life.
Christina!
We have so little time left, Pablo.
What can we say to each other?
I just want to say, I'll always love you.
I'm not worthy of you, Christina.
If you really love me, don't go away without...
Without marrying you, can't you see it would be unfair to you? I should like to marry you now, even if I'm about to.
Let's not think what the next few moments will bring.
For the first time in my life, I know what real love is. The deep silent affection, the quiet understanding, the feeling of gentle gratitude, the sense of being alive. Yes, alive. Neither a mother's nor a woman's love I have known. Early in life, I soiled my mind with unworthy thoughts, my mouth with drink and dirty language, my heart polluted with petty desires, my hands stealing, gambling, and now murder. And then you came, Christina. You came into my sordid, lonely life and cleansed my mind and soul and brightened my world until that night.
Why, oh God, why? If only I hadn't been walking alone that night.
When you told me that next morning how that fellow had tried to rape you, I forgot myself. I forgot you. I forgot everything. I only knew I had to wipe away that insult.
But why with blood, Pablo? You shouldn't have.
With blood, yes, because it was the only way. That insult had to be wiped away with blood. If you got married now, what can I offer you? Nothing. Premature widowhood, the name of a murderer, a few memories of what might have been.
What do I get? Widowhood, yes, but also the assurance of your heart and mind faithful unto the end and for always. A few memories. I wish there had been more, but still memories. I shall cherish all through eternity.
After this is over, you'll forget me. If someday you should meet a better fellow who can offer you a better life, you'll be glad you didn't marry me, that you were free.
It's nearly time, my son.
Father, this is Christina. Father, could we...
Yes?
Could you marry us now? It's the last favor I ask of you. Father, could you...
But
Yes, I know I'm going to die in a few minutes.
We love each other, Father.
have you known each other long?
7 months.
But at this moment,
I want to marry him, even at this moment.
time is short. You shall meet two witnesses.
My tia Chideng is outside. Are you sure, Christina? You want this?
Surer than ever.
5 minutes left. You can't get in without the pass.
Let me in! Let me in!
Who are you?
I'm his mother.
But you don't have a pass.
He's my son and I have the right.
Warden, will you let her in?
Is she your mother?
She used to be.
I shall wait in here.
Wait for me, dearest. I shall call you. What do you want?
I wanted to see you.
What for? To offer me your sympathy? Thanks, don't need it. You didn't try to see me during the trial.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't. I was ashamed.
Ashamed? And aren't you ashamed to be here now?
I am your mother, Pablo.
The woman I used to call mother died when after father's death. She lived with Marcus Naples.
You hate me so.
I don't hate you. My feelings for you are what I would feel for a stranger.
I have left him. I have left Marcos for good.
And so you came here to feel pride for your work.
I don't understand.
If I'm here now, if I'm condemned to the chair, it's because of you.
Me?
Yes, you. Have you ever been a mother to me? Did you ever give me any care or attention? Is it true that you spent all your time gambling while you left me with Tia Chideng? Weren't you out gambling?
I fed you. I have clothed you.
And you thought you had done your duty. Yes, you thought that in bringing me into this world your work was finished. It had only begun.
What do you want me to do?
Did you ever correct my faults? Did you care who my companions and playmates were? Did you ever check me from committing petty thefts? Correct my bad language, my bad tendencies?
I tried, okay? I really tried.
And did you ever teach me to fear God? Tia Chideng taught me a few prayers which I quickly forgot because I ran away. My faults became habits, and my bad habits enslaved me.
You know what? I wasn't to blame. Please try to understand my son.
Son? You dare call me your son? In a few months after father's death, I was then fell in love with Marcus Nabel. Lived with him. My own mother.
I told you I loved him.
And may I know why? Now that it matters.
You know, when I read about your sentence a few weeks ago, I realized that I'd done wrong.
In the meantime, what had you done to me? You broke my ideals, tore away my faith. You filled me with the bitterness of a son who's ashamed of his own mother.
Pablo, have pity, please.
Pity? You never had any for me. You sent me out into the world without faith, without anchor, without dreams. I wandered alone and lonely without a home until I met Christina, the girl I've just got married.
Married?
And now that I'm about to die, how I wish to have my own mother at my side. To be able to tell her how sorry I am. To be able to part from this life with a mother's kiss. But no, it's my own mother who has sent me here.
Pablo, my son.
Tears? How can your tears move me now when I'm drowned my own tears in drink?
You listen to what I have to say, okay? I was forced to marry your father. It was against my will. I didn't love him and he knew it. It wasn't my fault. You don't have to blame me. My family shouldn't have opposed my marriage against the man I love. To forget my unhappiness, I turned to gambling and pleasure. That kept me away from your father. You know what? I didn't want a baby. Now you might as well know. So when you came, well, I just left you to care of our servants. But few knew that our married life wasn't happy. And when your father died, I sought an outlet for my lonely years.
Time's up.
It's all over. His last words were,
Yes.
Christina. Tia.
Was that all?
And mother, he whispered, like a prayer. The word mother was.
The word mother